So maybe a seed was planted there, a little 4-year-old Fergus, who knows. So I just thought I'd share my story, what it looked like, how I got from where I started out to where I am today. Back in about 2005, I moved to France and I got a job as an assistant d'anglais, which is just a language teaching assistant in a high school in France. And the only qualification I needed at the time was just to have a degree and to speak English natively. After that, I came back to Dublin. I'm originally from Ireland. And I went back to working in a kind of corporate job in a bank, but I always longed for teaching. So when I had the opportunity about a year later to move to the south of Spain, I jumped at it, although I still didn't have any qualification or any job or anything like that lined up. But I did manage to find one or two private students while I lived there in the south of Spain. And again, this whet my appetite for more teaching. So a couple of months later, I moved to Madrid, where I spent the majority of my year and a half living in Spain. And there I found a job with a language academy that had classes in the central bank of Spain. So they used to send me out to the location where the central bank of Spain was, and I would have group classes and one-to-one individual classes. And I really grew to fall in love with teaching, yet still I didn't have any actual formal training. I was really just kind of winging it, making it up as I went along, kind of going off my intuition. And this really served me because I got quite confident in the classroom environment. I got pretty good at building rapport, but I also had built up a lot of bad habits. Really common one that we often talk about in CELTA. I was a big fan of saying, "Do you understand?" And I had no real concept of concept checking questions, for example. After I came back from Spain, I was living in Dublin and really just wanted to get into the English language teaching world. Now, in Dublin, like many countries, the English language teaching profession is regulated. So I had to take a certificate. And that certificate course, it was equivalent to CELTA. It was an Irish course called the CELTA, Certificate in English Language Teaching. That course was moderated by the Irish Board of Education, so it's quite well renowned. And that got me started teaching in Dublin. I right away worked with the school where I had done my Celtic course, but quickly I got a job offer from a school called Alpha College of English in North Dublin City. And from there, everything just took off. I had a wonderful director of studies. Shout out to Ian Brangan back in Dublin still. You really had big influence on me, give a lot of trust in me, and give a lot of motivation to me to grow as a teacher and to really further fall in love with the profession. It was under Ian's guidance, in fact, a few years later, that I went to do Delta and became a teacher trainer. After my time at Alpha came to an end, after about 4 or 5 years, I moved to Sao Paulo in Brazil, and things moved up yet another gear there. I had Delta under my wing. I had teacher training experience. I had a background in teaching a variety of English for specific purposes. So I very quickly was lucky to find an excellent job with another mentor of mine. Shout out to Bjarne van Zyl, their Target Language Services in Sao Paulo, where I then trained to become a CELTA teacher trainer. I was also the head of exams and director of studies at that school. I became an IELTS examiner, both for speaking and writing, and again further developed as an English for specific purposes teacher, particularly in the areas of law and medicine. It was around that time as well that I first became interested in the whole world of instructional design. I started creating a lot of materials and curricula using online tools, particularly the Google Suite of Education. And from there, started delivering online lessons back in about 2011 in Brazil. It was a great pilot project run in conjunction with the British Council, where we were teaching IELTS all over Brazil, but remotely. So I guess I was one of those early adopters when it came to teaching online. From there, after my Brazil days, I got this offer to move to this school here, this place called Nova Scotia in Canada. And I was like, I've heard of Nova Scotia, Canada. And then bit by bit, I figured out where it was because, admittedly, sorry, Canadians, my whole conception of Canada was Toronto, Vancouver, Montreal. That was about it. Even Calgary didn't really register too much on my radar. So Halifax, yeah, I'd heard about it maybe, but I couldn't even find it on a map. Anyway, 3 months later, I was on a plane moving to Halifax, Nova Scotia, but not before I had an opportunity in that 3 month period between the end of Brazil and Canada to go and do some freelance CELTA work in Durban, South Africa, where I met yet another of the great standout colleagues in my whole career, and that's Carla Wood there at Durban Language Centre. That was one of the 3 or 4 CELTAs that I delivered there were some of the greatest memories I have, just as a really excellent school to work at, great colleagues, very knowledgeable, beautiful atmosphere. South Africa was an almost indescribable experience for me. It's truly memorable, live with me for the rest of my life. And I met some friends there in my short time. In fact, I ended up having 2 stints there. But I met some friends there that, they're going to, I may not be in contact with them daily, but they've left a lasting impact in so many aspects of my life, not just teaching, but indeed the course that my life has taken in years since then. And, I'm always going to be truly grateful to those people. You know who you are. And then fast forward to today, to 2024, just last week, I became a Canadian citizen. I have a YouTube channel. I'm a teacher, trainer, and consultant. I work as an instructional designer. I've kind of moved on from full-time teacher training to, particularly creating instructional materials for a variety of industries. At the moment, I'm working in the legal profession. It's funny, my degree was actually in law. I became a teacher trainer, and now I end up at a law firm, but not as a lawyer, but as an educator. As a friend of my family back in Ireland once said to me, Fergus, quite the circuitous route through life. I thought it was the most eloquent summation of my life. Quite the circuitous route through life. Anyway, I know a lot of you are, a little bit curious about who is this person, what's his background. So I just thought I would make this video. On today, as I said, one of the most snowy days I've seen in quite some time. In fact, not just a day, it snowed solidly almost every minute for the last 3 days. And so we have more than a meter of snow outside. So I'm going to run outside and shoot some more videos. So this is not going to be CELTA specific, but I'm just going to add it on to the end of this video so you can have a look if you're interested. Yeah, that's it. I hope that you found this video interesting, I guess, and know a little bit more about me and why I do what I do. Yeah, I hope that you enjoy the rest of the videos on my channel. I really hope that they're helpful for you. The whole purpose of this is just to continue teaching. I've loved it, I guess, since that's how you learn. Try and stay off your arse. Beautiful day, eh? Enjoy it. Before I ever even thought about having a job, my own mother was a teacher, and in fact she was my first ever teacher at primary school. So maybe a seed was planted there, little 4-year-old Fergus, who knows. But yeah, I really love what I do. I love making these videos for you. I love the comments that people leave, even the ones that challenge what I said. I love that too, because that just helps to further investigate what I'm saying, what you're saying, what we're all saying, and hopefully put things into sharper focus. Okay, that's it. I'm going to land this play now. Thank you so much for watching. And all that's left for me to say is I'll see you in the next one.